And he scores it 18.24%. Sonics trail it 2-0, just underway. 11:03 to play in the opening quarter here at the Coliseum in Seattle. Lister against Paris. And knocked out of bounds at the baseline. It'll be brought into play with 10 seconds on the shot clock.
Teams don't shoot.
McMillan will send it in.
Teams don't shoot very well against Boston, 45%. They play a very good brand of team basketball.
Larry Bird with a rebound. Bird excels in every statistical category. Averages over 8 rebounds for the Celtics. Blocked by Chambers. Collected by McDaniel, but he was on the end line. Ronnie Nunn right there on the spot to make the call. The crowd boos it, but it's a good call.
Chambers did a nice job of laying in the woods behind Lister, who made McHale alter his path to the basket and therefore go up a little bit weak.
Danny Ainge in the paint. We have a travel violation. First turnover, it goes to Boston on the season. Boston doesn't turn it over too often, 16.8 on the average. Of course, the Sonics, one of the higher turnover teams in the league, 20 a game. X at the top. And it scores. Yes, sir. Alton Lister with his first hoop, and we are tied at 2 underway here in the early minutes of the first quarter.
Characteristic of teams playing back-to-back that second night, they're a little slow out of the gate. If Seattle can get any kind of a run going at all.
Well, a triple team that time forming on Larry Bird. That's what you got to do with this guy. We have a foul call to Lister, his first.
Well, this is one of the best passing teams in the NBA, 28 assists a game. And you'll see passes go from all over the court, as that one did, out near half court, down into the heart of the Sonic defense.
Larry Bird at the foul line. He is the #1 foul shooter in the league, 903 from the line. He's also an excellent percentage shooter from the outside, 52%. And he gets them both, and now it's a 4-2 game. 3-2 game. Celtics on top. Daniel at the top. Scored very well against Portland on Sunday night. Guards just didn't get him the ball enough in that second half. And we have a foul whistled by Ronnie Nunn at the baseline. Going against the Sonics, and it'll be Tom Chambers. That is the first against Tom. And the second team foul for the Sonics.
I think the Sonics would like to have had, and particularly Bernie Bickerstaff, would like to have had a little bit more veteran crew, or at least a couple of different officials than the ones that have been scheduled to do tonight's game.
There's always a fear, of course, that younger officials might be intimidated by this Boston Celtic team. McHale, his shot is goaltended, so count the hoop to McHale, and it's 6-2. The world champions on top.
Now this is why Lister's guarding McHale, because he likes that block down there, and Alton's more inclined to play good defense against the center and low.
Chambers is blocked at the bucket, but X is there. So it's 6-4. Celtics by a pair. They were favored by 3 prior to the game tonight. Hale at the baseline. A rebound for Nate McMillan. Excellent rebounder. He's averaging over 4 boards a game from the guard position in limited time. Boston won last night in Sacramento, 119-102 over the Kings. They're 8-7 now on the road. Lost only twice at home in 13 days. Bird, good rebound by Perry. Another offensive board, and McHale scores it. No signs of weariness yet, Jimbo. Alton Lister in the paint, scores it. Alton has 4. It's 8-6. It is 7-6. Celtics on top, and the Celtics will take a timeout, 20-second timeout with 8:36 to play in the first period.
You saw the shooting.
Here we go. 7-6. Celtics by a point. 8:33 to play in the first period. Ainge under the guard of Dale Ellis. Parrish on the outside. Larry Bird does not score it, and another rebound for Nate McMillan. He has 3 of the 6 Sonics boards so far tonight. Sonics trail by 1. A bucket will vault them into the lead. Chambers, Lister is open, but there's an illegal defense called against Boston. That's their first, and it is a warning. It was Fred Roberts who came in at that 20-second timeout who is the violator.
Part of the reason that teams only shoot 45% is the smartness of this green-clad defensive crew. They great position generally.
Here's Ellis off the bracket. They're a very smart club. They block a lot of shots, too, Jim.
Well,
they just make it difficult to get a good shot.
They have great size, of course, with McHale and Parrish.
Bird guarded by McDaniel. And Bird scores it. Bird, the number 3 scorer in the NBA at 26.4. McHale is number 5. 9-6. Sonics trail by 3. Here's Lister outside. Scores it. He has 6 points for the Sonics. And it's 9-8. Sonics lost Sunday to the Trailblazers, 127-118, with a very, very poor third quarter. But you look at the statistical line in that game, it was a very even contest. Bird, 3 points.
Well, of course, the danger is when you come up on Larry that he's going to dribble right by you. But X has to creep up closer to him because he's just a great outside shooter.
12-8 Celtics. Ellis an air ball from 3. And Bird brings it across the timeline for the Celtics. Celtics have won 3 in a row, 7 of their last 10, 3 straight on the road. And Parrish knocks it down. He has 4 points in the game. And we're going to have a timeout taken by the Sonics. 6:45 to play in the first period. Celtics 14, Sonics 8. Again, replacing Roberts for Boston.
Jimmy, another reason teams don't shoot very well against the Celtics, 45 on the year, is that you get too excited to play them and you don't shoot in your normal rhythm, although that looks pretty good.
Xavier McDaniel knocks it down, and it's 14-10. Sonics 4 of 12 in the first 5 minutes of play from the field. Boston 6 of 13, and Boston has out-rebounded the Sonics 8-6. Parrish can't get close in hoop, and Alton Lister brings a rebound. 6:14 to go in the first. 4-point lead for Boston. Make it 2.
Now that's one thing Seattle should take advantage of. They've been running all year, and they need to push the issue at every opportunity here in the early going.
Sonics within 2 points. Dennis Johnson open on that double team on Bird. Lister has another board. Lister's had some great rebounding nights. He's averaging 8.8. Oh, the alley-oop misfires. Tom Chambers cannot convert it. We had a spectacular one Sunday night with McMillan setting up Terrence Stansberry. Loose ball, turnover Celtics. McMillan by himself to the bucket. Yes, sir. And the Sonics and the Celtics are tied at 14. 5:25 to go, opening period. Again, Johnson wide open on that double team, and he knocks it down this time. Well, that's the hazards of that play.
Well, you got to get in on McHale's lap, but you got to be quick to recover back out to DJ and bother him. He's not going to miss that one too often.
Alton Lister works the paint, scores that baby. Yes, sir. 8 points for Lister, and we're tied at 16. Alton has not missed a shot, Jim.
That'll certainly help matters if he continues to be warm.
There's another 3-pointer. Danny Ainge this time with his first hoop of the night. 19-16. Celtics by 3.
Sonics need to get Dale Ellis loose here for a nice little open jumper.
X got it. 8 points for X. Ellis has not scored yet. Jim, he's missed 4 straight shots from outside. And Boston will use a timeout for great seats and $3 off tickets for Phoenix next Tuesday. You call Ticketmaster anytime during this broadcast. 628-0888. Here's McHale in the paint, and he traveled with the ball. No bucket. (19-18) Celtics by 1 point. And it's off McMillan, so Boston will inbound at the baseline. Johnson, Ainge, Parrish, McHale, and Bird, the starters on for the Sonics and the Celtics.
Tom's been shooting that three-point shot so well and so early in contest that that's just like a layup to other people now. That's astounding for a guy 6'11".
Whistle from Ronnie Nunn at the baseline, and a foul called against Nate McMillan. And this is the one thing you worry about with Nate McMillan is his propensity to foul. As a rookie, it's not unusual to have that trait. He's been so outstanding, but he does get himself in trouble with fouls. Sonics shooting 50% now. Boston 8 of 17, 47%. Looking for Bird, gonna shoot it. Oh. DJ knocks it down. 4 points for Johnson. He's hit 2 in a row, and it's 21-18. Clement Johnson will check in at the next dead ball for Seattle. Millen under the guard of Ainge. Here's Ellis in the corner. Scores it. And that's the first bucket tonight for Ellis, the league's number 13 scorer at 22.6 on the season. Inside to Parrish. Score it, and Dale Ellis has the rebound. Nice pass from McMillan, and Lister loses it out of bounds. It's Celtics ball.
Well, you don't see him do that often. He has extremely good hands, and you see Johnson and Lucas get set to check in. I'm not sure why he's not going to let Lucas in. Lucas was in the box. Of course, you have to be in that box prior to the whistle blowing. It appeared as if he was there, but I guess he's just going to see the little yellow line there on the left. There's a little box there you have to be in before that whistle goes.
Ainge working on Ellis. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Down to 7 to shoot. McHale rolls to the baseline and scores. 6 points in the game for McHale. McHale, despite in addition to his scoring, outstanding shot blocker. Clement Johnson.
Boy, what a nice pass. Look at how Nate McMillan innovates in midair.
Larry Bird misses from 20 feet. And here comes McMillan. He has 4 rebounds in the game. He has 6 assists as well. Dale Ellis, yes, sir. 4 in the game for Ellis. 23-24. Sonics now on top by a point. Danny Young will check in at the next dead ball with Maurice Lucas for Seattle. 2:08 to play in the first period. Ainge, hard off the window, does not go, and Chambers outlets quickly to Ellis on the left wing. Against Johnson, yes, sir. Count it. And he is fouled. Dennis Johnson picks up his first personal.
If Dale would have taken one more dribble, that would have been a much tougher shot. He was stride for stride with the defender, and watch how far out Dale takes his leap to the basket. Right here, about 11, 12 feet from the basket, and that freezes Dennis Johnson and doesn't allow DJ an opportunity to get in front of Dale. Nice work.
One shot for Dale Ellis from the foul line on the season. Dale, a 78% foul shooter. He goes. 7 points in the game for Ellis. The Sonics lead it by 4, 27-23 over the world champion. Maurice Lucas and Danny Young have entered the game for the Sonics. Here's Bird, picked up by Johnson. Parrish in the paint, got it.
Well, all Lucas can do is just put his hands up. They don't extend up very high, and Parrish at 7-2, Jimmy?
7-1.
7-1, gets that shot up. He holds the ball up so very high, it's almost impossible for anybody to block it.
McMillan on the bench now with 7 assists, 4 rebounds, and 2 points. Not bad for your first starting assignment against the world champions. Lucas, a minute and a half to play in the period, 8 seconds on the shot clock. Chambers over Bird. Out front, Ronnie Nunn calls it against the Sonics. Clement Johnson picks up the foul, and that is the first on Clem and the 4th team foul. Here's Jerry Seasting entering the game, 6'1" from Purdue in his 7th year. Red Roberts also in for Boston.
Already Bernie's given Ronnie Nunn an earful. I'll tell you,
well, I think that's exactly right. I think he's a little, as we talked earlier, a little concerned about the official's reaction.
And I think he may have Bernie just may have talked the official into calling that offensive foul on McHale.
That's the first personal to McHale. Not a team foul, so the Celtics have just 1 team foul. The Sonics with 3, and we have a minute 9 to play in the first period. Sonics lead it by 2 points, 27-25. Lucas from 20 feet. Yes, sir.
He's been coasting that ball in nicely, and you hear the crowds lose.
55 seconds remain in the period. The Sonics lead it by 4.
Roy Clement's doing a nice job of McHale inside.
Bernie Bickerstaff calls Clement the most dependable backup center in the league. I'd agree with that. 5 seconds to shoot it. 3 seconds. Johnson from 3. A brick. And Chambers outlets to Ellis at midcourt with a half minute to play in the first period. And the Sonics up by 4. 3-point try. No, sir. Rebounds a Bird, who checks the time remaining. DJ is short. Dale is fouled. He'll go to the line. No basket.
Well, that may have been a premature shot moments ago by Dale, but he and Chambers, you can't allow to not take those three-point shots when they're wide open. They're too good at that shot. But watch all the white shirts get down on the boards, and that's one of the few offensive rebounds here in this first quarter. You see the foul right there on Maurice, was it not?
Maurice Lucas picks up the foul. You're right, and it's the fourth team foul. Danny Ainge and Darren Day in the game for the Celtics. Dennis Johnson may be injured.
Well, he's limping. I think there's no maybe about that. I don't know what. I think he cracked some.
Well, it could just be a bruise, a knock that he'll shake off. We'll just have to wait and see. Dale gets one. He has 7 points in the game, and there's 15 seconds remaining in the period. Sonics still lead it by 3.
Well, the Sonics should hold for the last second.
Chambers at the baseline against Darren Day, just acquired by Boston. Bad shot by Chambers. Out of bounds, says Ronnie Nunn. So with 1 second on the clock, the Celtics will inbound it. The far end of the court. Ainge rifles it down the length of the court, but no shot attempt, and that's the end of the first period. And after one, the Celtics lead the Celtics 29-26.
Have excellent hands for those in-close passes.
Danny Young, Dale Ellis, Xavier McDaniel, Clement Johnson, Maurice Lucas on the floor for the Sonics in white. Just underway in the second quarter of play. Fred Roberts guarding Lucas. Lucas takes it to the baseline. There's no foul. Yes, there is a foul. Ronnie Nunn will call it at the baseline. If on.
Well, there's probably not a lot of forwards in this league that Maurice is going to be able to streak by at this stage of his career, but he uses great ability to head fake, and he gets by Fred Roberts with no problem, and he can do that against most any forward.
First foul to Roberts, and the first team foul of this period. 1 shot remaining. Terrence Stansberry comes in replacing Dale Ellis, and he is a spectacular player. Lucas, in the 3 games back from that injury that kept him out 17 games, averaged 19 minutes, 12 points, and 5.5 rebounds.
You don't see him miss many free throws, and he just missed 2.
Seasting from 18 feet nails it. First bucket for Jerry Seasting. He averages 6 off the bench for the Celtics. Not an impressive bench for Boston, with the exception perhaps of Jerry Seasting. There's Lucas in the paint, spins out, and Darren Day has the rebound. We were talking earlier, Jim Day might be the best leaper on this entire club.
Yeah, there's no question. There are not a lot of young leaping legs on this Celtic team. They just beat you by guile and experience.
Danny Young kicks back to Stansberry for the jumper. Yes, sir. Terrence Stansberry. Boy, I should have been here Sunday night to see that alley-oop play. That was something. Terrence smashing it home. It brought the crowd to its feet. Roberts. Seasting with 10 seconds on the shot clock. Got another one perfect.
That's one thing he can do and do it well is shoot that open jumper. Danny Young's got to really pay attention to him and make the Celtics go someplace else.
Sonics by 1 point, 31-30 over Boston. Alden Lister waiting to check in at the next dead ball for the Sonics. X from 20. Tapped up and down by Luke.
Well, right now, Jimmy, Luke owns the paint area, and he's high enough to stuff tap that one.
10-14 to play first half. Sonics by 3, 33-30. And Alden Lister will check in and replace Clement Johnson. We have a foul whistled on Darren Day. That is his first. Second team foul. No, it's not a team foul. Excuse me. It's an offensive foul.
Rather foul-free game, hasn't it been?
Not bad. Certainly better than most outings at this point for the Sonics, who, with the aggressive defense they play, do commit more fouls than opponents most times. Daniel, nice hoop for the X-Man to give him 10 points for the night. Power powers it up to make it 35-30.
Right now, the Sonics just look a little bit quicker and a little bit more fresh than the Celtics do.
Short, and there's Stansberry's rebound. Good movement by Lucas and Stansberry. Tapped out of bounds, but Luke saves it. That'll be Boston ball at the baseline, and here's the substitution. Robert Parrish returning for the Celtics, replacing Kevin McHale. Dale Ellis trying to get in for the Sonics. He'll be in at the next dead ball. Ainge and Sting, Day, Bird, and Parrish on for Boston. Boston's had a lot of injuries and illnesses that have kept a lot of these players out of action this year. They still own the lead in the Atlantic Division. Rebound for Lucas. Chambers will check back in for the Sonics at the next opportunity. Here's Lister in the paint. Yes, sir. Alvin Lister has 10 points. It's 37-30, biggest lead of the game, 7 points.
Sonics doing a nice job of controlling the tempo of the game and pushing the issue whenever they have possession of the ball. The Celtics right now doing a little bit of walking.
Sonics out-rebounded the Celtics 14-11 in that first period and outshot them 52% to 44%. Chambers will re-enter along with Dale Ellis. We have a foul whistle to Alton Lister. That is his second.
And that's a good sign, Jimmy. Deep into the second quarter, Alton with only 2.
Indeed. Final score from New York. New York over Washington 103-97, and Indiana beat Cleveland 111-99.
No surprise, Casey Jones is really moving his lineup around. Trying to keep some fresh guys out on the court, trying to stay close to the Sonics through this first half.
We were talking about only 2 fouls against Alton. He's doing it at the offensive end as well with 5 consecutive hoops. We have an illegal defense against the Sonics. That is their first warning. Another final score. Golden State beat Chicago tonight in Chicago, 102-99. Here's Parrish against Lister. Rebound for Dale Ellis. Sonics rebounding well. They're a good rebounding club. 45 plus a game. 8 minutes to play in the first half here. Chambers bumped by Roberts. No whistle. Count the hoop to Tom Chambers. His first bucket of the game in 7 shots.
January here in the Coliseum. And boy, does it look good filled tonight. 6 games.
There's Sting with Dennis Johnson now, Fred Roberts, Larry Bird, and Robert Parrish.
Look at how far Alton is when Parrish has the ball out at 18 feet.
5 seconds to shoot it. And Bird is perfect. 8 points in the game for Larry Bird. Most valuable player for the 3rd consecutive time last year. Appeared in the top 10 in 5 statistical categories. Chambers at 22 feet. X scores it. 12 points for McDaniel. So the ill-advised shot by Chambers pays off with a rebound and a hoop for X, and the Sonics lead at 41-32. Nice little move by Roberts, but he can't score it.
Well, the Celtics are spending so much time double and triple teaming Chambers that there are other guys wide open. And that's why it's been a struggle so far for Tom.
Nate McMillan returns for the Sonics, and Kevin McHale replacing Roberts for Boston. Inbounded in backcourt, and we're underway. 6:43 remain in the first half. Sonics won 2 of the last 3 of their last 5 games.
Well, that's a tough shot there. It's difficult to give the Celtics possession of the basketball, so you hope to get the best shot you can.
Rotated around the perimeter. Shot clock down to 10. McHale is fouled by McMillan reaching in. And that is the second foul charge against Nate McMillan.
His second.
Alton just doing a nice job of trying not to let McHale post up inside. Those are some veteran big men up there.
Here's a three-point try. Perfect. Bird with two three-pointers tonight so far. And he has 11 points in the contest. It's 41-35. Biggest lead has been 9. Next to the baseline. And Parrish hangs on to the rebound.
Right now, the Sonics not in their rhythm at all offensively. Guys are taking shots that they don't normally take.
Boston turnover. Sonics turned it over only twice in that first quarter. X slams that baby home.
Now that's one X has a lot of practice on and does very well. That's good defense down at this end by Chambers.
He is a powerful young man. We have a foul whistle from the baseline by Jack Dees on McDaniel.
Defense keys so many opportunities on your fast break. And look at Tom be there for the errant pass, and he gives it to X, who finishes it quickly.
Nice pass by Chambers. Boston turnover, their third of the period. Stansbury outside. Tapped up by Lister, doesn't go. And Bird has the rebound. Bird now with 5 boards tonight. 43-35 Sonics. Off target for DJ. And we have a foul. Darren Stansbury picks up his first. That is the 4th Sonics team foul. A shooting foul for Dennis Johnson. Johnson at the line, a 78% foul shooter. Boston, the top foul shooting team in the NBA. 79% as a team. In contrast, the Sonics shoot 74%.
Even though, Jimmy, the Sonics have had several fast break opportunities and not come away with some points, the important thing is they're making the guys in the green shirts tonight run a little bit.
Yeah, that's
particularly here. Yeah, particularly here in the second quarter.
Want to wear out these aging legs that have been on the road for a long time, playing 4 games in 5 nights. Dale Ellis has returned for the Sonics. 4:58 to play and a half. They're still working against Parrish. Nice little hook shot. Very nice indeed. 12 points for Alvin Lister. He's 4th in the league in block shots, averaging just under 9 boards and 13 points a game. And doing exactly what Bernie Bickerstaff and his coaches acquired him for. Nate Chambers, Lister.
Well, again, that is one nice move by the rookie. Watch him pull the defense and at the last second pull it back in close to his body to Chambers.
He even fooled the incomparable Larry Bird. 47-37, biggest lead, 10 points for the Sonics. Parrish, nope. And a rebound for Chambers. He carried the ball. That's a good call by Jack Dees. Clement Johnson into the ball game for the Sonics, replacing Alvin Lister. And we have a timeout taken by Boston. 4:09 to play first half. Sonics 47, Celtics 37. Sonics are out rebounding the Celtics 26-16.
Well, they're doing a good job of making the Celtics take some very tough shots. Effectively, so far, the Sonics have shut down the inside, the middle.
And the Sonics have forced 8 Boston turnovers and turned it over themselves only 3 times.
Boy, Tom is really doing a good job of keeping Larry Bird at bay right then.
Lucas whistled for a foul. He didn't like it one bit. You got to be careful there, Luke. The foul is the second on Luke. 15 foul. That puts the Sonics over the limit. Only 1 team foul so far in this period charged to Boston. Robert Parrish at the foul line. On the season, he shoots 73% from the stripe. He had 11 rebounds last night with 24 points and 3 blocks. He played 38 minutes against the Kings. And that's something we were talking about.
Yeah.
These starters are playing long minutes.
Well, Walton isn't here, and neither is Scotty Wedman, of course, and those are 2 guys that are in their top 8 rotation, and it's beginning to take its toll here in January as you get into kind of what people call the dog days of the NBA season.
Walton on the injured list all season with a sore right ankle, and Wedman has a left heel problem. He's missed 6 games. Those are 2 fine players. Walton perhaps the one single reason that the Celtics were able to come back and win that championship last year.
Seasting closely guarding Nate McMillan picks up his first foul.
It's only the second team foul for Boston in this quarter. 3:37 to play in the half. Three-point try by Chambers. Almost tapped in. Score it. Dale Ellis now with 9 points in the game, and the Sonics lead it 49-38. 11 points, the biggest margin. Celtics not a team to be rattled by an 11-point deficit. Rebound Johnson, the outlet to Chambers at half court. Two Celtics back, Bird and DJ. Doesn't go for Chambers. Didn't look good on that shot.
Well, he tried to get it out before Larry came over. It was a great shot. Good attempt.
Parrish. 9 in the game for Parrish.
Well, this is why they're among the best passing teams in the NBA. And for my money, they're the best from 1 to 8 in their players.
2:45 remaining in the half. Turned over by the Sonics, and here is Parrish at the other end. So quickly, the Celtics have sliced an 11-point advantage down to 7.
Well, this is not. Parrish has a dunk, and there's no way that Nate's going to block that shot for the next 10 years if he keeps trying. Only if
foul to Nate.
He may have gotten it if he would have been able to get around in front of Robert, but Robert didn't show him the basketball at all, and he is 7'1" after all.
An all-star the last 6 years running. Rebound for Lucas, and that is his fourth. 49-42 Sonics, 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Danny Young gets Seasting. Ellis going one way, the ball the other. Now Clem against Parrish. He's fouled.
Now, Clement Johnson gives away a lot of inches to these Celtic big men, McHale and Robert Parrish. But Clement, over the years as a Sixer, the last 5 years, has played very well in a backup role to Moses Malone. And even when Moses went out last year, this guy right here did an admirable job against these Celtics.
Well, he averaged better than 5 rebounds a game against Boston last year. As a Philadelphia 76er.
He just knows how to. He's just a consummate veteran, and as you mentioned earlier, Bernie calls him the best backup center in the league.
Clement just doesn't make mistakes. He's so solid. That makes it 51-42. Sonics on top with 2:15 to go in the half. Good pressure by Danny Young. Seasting chirping at Ronnie Nunn, wanting a foul called. There is none. DJ's jumper. Nope. Good work by Clement Johnson. He might even have gotten a piece of that first shot. Oh, what a pass by Chambers. Give the hoop to Ellis. A great assist to Tom Chambers. And it's 53-42, back to an 11-point spread. Parrish answers. 53-44 Sonics. A minute 39 to play in the half. Chambers against Bird. Lucas on top alone. Yes, sir.
Well, things have picked up here, and Tom's been the eye of the tornado with 2 nice passes. The wraparound, something you don't often see from a 6'11 guy.
55-44 Sonics, knocked away out of bounds by Clement Johnson.
Well, again, you note where Clement's playing, right in the lap of Kevin, and Johnson has his body all over Kevin, so Kevin can't get those long arms up.
Bird in the paint is knocked down and fouled by Tom Chambers, his second. Boy, Tom is working awfully hard defensively tonight. Seasting leaves the game.
Watch this. On the right of your screen, Larry just backs in on Tom. Of course, the further in he backs Tom to the basket, the more open he is, and Tom tries to fight around, and Larry, of course, just goes to the ground. That's a nice job by Larry.
Larry Bird has been an all-star every year he's been in this league.
Well, the Celtics, I think, what is it, 50 straight months they've had winning records
50
with
straight
Larry.
months of 500 basketball or better.
It's extraordinary. He's the best player in the league without question, and arguably, as you mentioned at the top of the show, the best ever.
55-46 Sonics with a minute 10 remaining in the first half.
As quickly as I say that, my mind thinks about Oscar Robertson.
Nice pick by Chambers. Ellis outside, can't hit it. Down puts it back. Yes, sir.
Tom's starting to cook right now. Starting to feel a little bit more free as an offensive player because he's not being harassed so much.
Back to an 11-point spread. Great shot by McHale. 9 points in the game for Kevin McHale at 57-48. 45 seconds remaining in the first half. Lucas against McHale. Ellis against DJ. Double team there in the paint. He scores it. Dale Ellis with a fine effort has 13 points now and is 59-48 Sonics with 33 seconds to play in the half.
One thing perhaps overlooked here in the first half, Jimmy, is the pressure the Sonics have applied to the guards for the Celtics. The Celtics bringing the ball up the court, not necessarily giving the ball up to Seattle, but these guys here, Ellis, Young, and McMillan, have been applying good pressure, and it's taken them a while, the Celtics, to get up court.
And once in a while, that pressure costs, and it did that time, as Ellis is hit with a personal foul. That is only his first, and DJ is at the foul line. He has 3 points at the line tonight, 7 points in a game. He's averaging 15 points. To go for Dennis Johnson. Had his best shooting night of the season last night, 9 of 11.
Yeah, Kevin McHale jumped the gun a little bit, tried to beat Clement in, and Ronnie Nunn very quick with the call. So let's watch it right here. McHale is lined up with in the center of your screen, and you can see he's clearly in before DJ releases the ball. Of course, I don't know of a guy in the lane that ever stays out before the guy, but that was a little bit too obvious.
You know, whenever I see the Boston Celtics, I still harken back in my mind to days of yore and the best game of your career.
18 points on the floor, the parquet, and the garden. That's right.
Yes, sir.
I wonder
reporters all around in the locker room. Newspaper headlines.
And barely a half a year later, I was back on the streets coaching.
Hey, these things happen.
Yeah.
25 seconds to go in the half. The Sonics lead it by 10, 59-49. Chambers from 20. Short tap. Nope. Out of bounds. Sonics possession. 15 seconds to go.
Now one shot with 4 seconds to go. Just like the first quarter when they took it with 3 or 4 seconds to go.
Kevin Williams has checked into the game for the Sonics. He missed Sunday's contest with the flu. Still a little weak. 10 seconds.
They're setting up Dale Ellis.
5 seconds. Danny Young throws it at the bucket, almost scores it. Does draw the foul, and it's charged to Ames. That is his first. And the first in the last 2 minutes.
I don't know why the Celtics are upset right here. Watch right there, Danny really go after a ball. I know, perhaps they're trying to... Yeah, I know. They're trying to say that the ball should be inbounded now, and he was dribbling the basketball. Ainge fouled him. Not a bad try by Danny to foul Young before the shot was attempted, but it was called a shooting foul. Very close, though, and I think that's what they're upset.
I think the Sonics got a break there.
Yes.
I think I'd have to argue with the Celtics on that one.
Well, Danny Young did a good job of immediately throwing the ball at the basket, even though it was an unlikely-looking shot.
One to go for Danny, who has just lost his starting point guard job to Nate McMillan. Of course, a lot of players will argue that starting is just an introduction. As long as you get your minutes, that's what's important. 2 points in the game now for Danny. 4 seconds to play in the half. Down to 2. And Bird walked with the ball. Got poked in the eye as well. And throws the ball away from Jack Neese, and he'll get a technical foul. Technical foul charged against Larry Bird.
And Chris Ford, the assistant coach. So the Sonics are going to start with 2 free throws when the third quarter begins.
I think it was Jim Rogers, wasn't it?
No. Just as good as starting the half as there's one of the culprits right there. Starting the half with a bucket.
Now, actually, these points will be credited, or this point, rather, will be credited in the first half in the second period. So Chambers' scoring total then will be 7 points in the first half of play.
You know, it may be, there might be 2 edges to that sword. The technicals at the outset of the half. You don't know what a guy like Larry Bird, how he will react to those, and as good as he is, he may come out smoking.
Exactly right. He is, as we said earlier, incomparable. 62-49, a 13-point lead for the Sonics as the third quarter begins with Nate McMillan, Dale Ellis, Alvin Lister, Tom Chambers, and Xavier McDaniel. Nate finds some room, takes the paint, and scores that baby. 4 points in the game for McMillan, who had 8 assists in the first half. Now it's 64-49. 15-point lead. Bird outside. Look out. 15 points in the game for Larry Bird. 64-51 Sonics. Chambers fouled at the baseline. No basket, but Tom will be at the free throw line where he shoots 88% on the season. The foul is to Bird. That is his first team foul for the Boston Celtics. Bird still chirping at Jack Neese.
One thing about the Celtics, if they stay behind through the third quarter and have to go to any kind of a press, it's going to play against them because they're not loaded with a lot of quick guys. 1, 2, and that fourth game in 5 nights thing.
Chambers with the first of 2 scores it. He has 8 points now. Stansbury checks into the game for the Sonics. And McDaniel will come out.
I guess I should hasten to add they're loaded with a bucket full of Celtic resolve, which has been called tradition over the years, and you just can't really count that or put that on a scale and weigh it, but it certainly is an important factor.
Well, something happens to a lot of players when they put on that Celtic green. 66-51. Bird. Lister with a quick outlet to Dale Ellis, and here come the Sonics. Chambers, yes sir. 11 in the game for Chambers now. 68-51, 17-point Sonics lead over the Celtics. Last year in Boston, the Sonics led the Celtics by 21 in the first half. Lost the game, but played marvelously for a purpose. 15th point for Robert Parrish, 68-53.
Again, the best Tom can do there is just make Robert work a little bit because Robert is 7-1.
McDaniel will check back into the next dead ball for the Sonics. Too hard, the shot by Chambers, but Lister keeps it alive with a rebound. Well, Chambers loses it on the dribble. Only the 5th turnover of the game for the Sonics. Danny Ainge gets 2 points back. He has 5 points in the game. Ainge averages 14. 68-55 Sonics. And 1,600. The most people who watch a basketball game ever in this building. But Daniel will inbound with 19 seconds on the shot clock. Chambers, short of the shot, and Lister again keeps it alive. He has 10 rebounds.
Well, Nate just simply lost it out of bounds. One of the few turnovers tonight. That's 6, is it not?
6 for the night for the Sonics, who average 20 a game. Dennis Johnson. And a loose ball foul is called by Jack Neese, and it's on McMillan. That's 4 fouls on the rookie guard.
Well, Bernie's most assuredly going to have to go, as you see Lucas come in, most assuredly going to have to go to the bench for Danny Young here pretty quickly.
Lucas replaces Tom Chambers for the Sonics, and we're underway once again. The Sonics on top by 13 points. A 3-second violation.
Again,
Kevin McHale was in there too long, and that turns it over for the Celtics.
Again, the Sonics doing a nice job of shutting down that middle.
Good movement by McMillan, and X cannot get it down. 3-on-2 for a moment there. Perry scores it, and he has 17 points. He averages 18 with 11 rebounds and 2 block shots a game. 68-57 Sonics, an 11-point lead on Boston. And a loose ball foul again called by Jack Neese. And is going to go again for That's the 3rd foul to Luke and the 2nd team foul for the Sonics.
Sonics have not been very good here in the half court the last couple of minutes. Better in the...
Oh, look at that pass by Dennis Johnson. Third shot is short, and Lister with his 11th rebound. He had 19 boards against Houston. Nate McMillan, what a play by the rookie.
Well, when you go throw around a guy like Dennis Johnson so easily, and DJ, arguably the best defensive guard in the league. That is some play right there by the rookie.
Yes, sir. What a second-round pick he was. Sonics certainly did their homework on last year's draft. 10 seconds to shoot it. Skips the hoop for Johnson. And Lister will get another rebound. Ellis, yes, sir, and give the assist to McMillan.
Now Bernie's taking a chance playing McMillan with 4 fouls. Right now he hasn't been hurt.
Danny Ainge for 3, and Lucas muscles away the rebound from Bird. 72-57. Sonics on top. X from the baseline. Yes, sir. 16 points for McDaniel. 74-57 Sonics.
I would expect Larry Bird now to become the focal point for anything the Celtics do offensively here. And as soon as I say it, they go into Parrish. Oh, nice job by
Ellis doubles down. Johnson had a shot but chooses to drive and cannot get it down. But McHale is there. 11 for McHale. Sonics shooting 55% in this period so far. The Celtics 44%. The Sonics continuing to out-rebound Boston 6-1. 4 fast points now as Parrish gets 2 more, and it's 74-61 Sonics. Their biggest lead a moment ago, 17 points.
Still, the Green is having to go 94 feet every time they want possession of the ball, and that may take its toll.
Absolutely. The Celtics on this Western trip, they've won all 3 in the West. This is their 4th Western game, and they'll leave tonight at midnight, go back to Beantown. 6:23 to play in the third. Down to 10 seconds to shoot it. They'll go back into Parrish. Knocked out of bounds. Good defensive effort. Sonics have played very well on defense tonight. It's just been a sound game tonight so far for the Sonics.
Particularly inside.
6 seconds to shoot it. McHale outside from 18. Nope. Lucas with the board. He has 7 rebounds. 74-61 Seattle with 6 minutes to go. Third period. Danny Young, Dale Ellis, Tom Chambers, Alvin Lister, and this guy, Maurice Lucas. Wide open. Got it. 14 points for Alvin Lister with 12 rebounds. Lister averaged 9.5 points and 6.5 rebounds with Milwaukee last year against these same Celtics. McHale is fouled, and he flops. Seasting checks in for Boston. Stansberry for the Sonics. And Roberts will also go in for Boston.
You can't underestimate enough how hard and well Alton is defending the big guys down low, and here it's McHale. He's just not allowing Kevin any kind of opportunity to get into rhythm at all.
That's the second foul to Dale Ellis. Sonics with 3 team fouls.
Roberts, of course, comes in for Kevin.
Good job by Lucas to shut off Bird. I don't know where Ainge was going with that. And we have a foul against Chambers. Too bad.
That is because, let me underscore, Tom is just doing a great job of creating havoc with Larry Bird trying to get the ball up from outside.
Roberts, blocked by Lucas, but a foul is whistled against Luke. And for Lucas, his 4th. So now some concern with the Sonics. Those 4 fouls against McMillan, and now 4 with Lucas.
Let's watch and see if Maurice did indeed get. Yeah, he got. Oh man, that's close.
So Lucas will take a seat on the bench. And Fred Roberts will be at the line for a pair.
Fortunately, the bench has played very well for Seattle tonight. Bernie's been able to go with confidence to that area for points as well as some defensive play.
This fellow, Fred Roberts, at the line scored 5 points in 1 second against the Los Angeles Clippers last year.
Fred Roberts,
It's not easy to do.
Freddie Roberts, Danny Ainge, and Tom Chambers all competed against each other at BYU and Utah for 4 years, and they had some very heated battles.
Didn't react about that 5 points in 1 second.
Well, he's a great scorer.
I'll say. I'll tell you how he did that when we have the time. 76-63 Sonics. Into Lister. Crowded in there. Stansbury takes the baseline. Reverses. Nope. Almost out of bounds. But Bird saves it. Carlisle's in the game for Boston. This is Rick Carlisle from Virginia. He travels with the ball. That's 12 turnovers for Boston, 6 in the game for the Sonics, and Clement Johnson replaces Alton Lister for the Sonics. 76-63 Sonics, 4:40 remaining third period. Young against Seaston. All the way to the baseline. Good defensive effort by the Celtics. They allow opponents to shoot only 46% against them. Seasting outside knocks it down for his 6th point, and the lead is sliced to 11 points, down from 17 earlier in the period. Seconds on the shot clock. Stansbury looking for help. 5 seconds to shoot it. Over 3. Doesn't go. X. Nope. And Bird this time. Clears it for Boston. Bird has 9 rebounds. Good hustle by McDaniel. Pays off. And the Sonics get the ball back. That's the 13th turnover for Boston.
Somebody's got to move and present themselves as a target for Tom.
He'll take it to Bird. He's fouled. There's an illegal defense against the Celtics. And it is Greg Kite. That is the second against Boston, so that now will cost them a technical foul as K.C. Jones looks on, his 7th year at the helm of the Celtics. 70% his winning record all time. With Boston, it's 75%. Tom Chambers at the line, an 88% foul shooter. Oh, almost came out. Tom with 12 points in the game. Kevin Williams checks in for the Sonics to replace Terrence Stansbury. 3.5 minutes remain in the third period. The Sonics lead it by 12, 77-65. Chambers from the foul line, got it.
He's just bigger than Larry Bird if he can get it down in there and get a quick shot up before the Celtics run all those players at him.
And a very good period for Chambers.
Yes.
And he has just 3 fouls at this point. Loose ball and a foul whistle down on the baseline against the Celtics. And it's going to go against Greg Kite.
Well, K.C. Jones, there's the technical.
Yes, sir. Casey said something. Yeah, he said something, and that cost him a technical foul. So the Sonics have shot 4 technicals so far tonight, a complete reversal of the game Sunday night when the Sonics had 4 technicals called against them in the first quarter. So once again, Tom Chambers will be at the stripe as Casey looks on, unhappy obviously. 1 shot for Chambers, the technical foul. He has 14 points in the game.
Again, now, the further this game gets along, the Celtics continue to find themselves down by this wide margin. The more difficult, even with the 24-second clock and Larry Bird, the more difficult they're going to find it to come back because they don't have those springy, quick, young legs and fresh legs to put any kind of defensive pressure on.
It's a 15-point advantage, Sonics. There's just been no breakdown tonight for the Sonics. They just continue to play well. No spells where they lose control or go dry. It's just been outstanding with the exception in the first 5 minutes where they did not shoot it well. Another foul from down on the baseline called by Ronnie Dunn against Kevin Williams this time. That's the first.
Well, the offense has to revolve around Larry Bird out there because the 4 players he has on the court with him.
Fred Roberts Roberts on the drive is fouled in the lane, and it's Clement Johnson picking up his second.
Boy, and right now it's time to change that defensive tempo a little bit and not really help out all that much, as you see the second foul on Clement, help out all that much on all the Celtics, but just know that Bird's the guy that's going to center on and let the other guys score on you if they can.
I want to tell you how Roberts scored 5 points in a second against the Clippers. Scored a field goal. It was goaltended, so that stops the clock. He then stole the inbound pass and hit a three-pointer. And that's how he did it, folks.
You know, I was sitting here waiting for you to tell me.
Well, I don't know how many people have done that.
Not any that I know of. Took me a couple of months to score 5 in this league.
Let alone in 1 second. It took you a whole game.
Oh, thank you. You're being charitable.
Well, I always try to be. Strapped with the ball, and now possession to Darren Day. And a foul, and X picks up number 2.
Well, Bernie's pleading his case. He was attacked pretty good, X was, down below by a couple of Celtics. Pretty clean most of all. Let's watch it here. You'll see the entire thing. Oh, boy, he was raked pretty good by Kite right there. They missed that one. Might have missed that one. And then, of course, get that one. Well, that'll happen then, too.
Darren Day, who was waived by the Chicago Bulls earlier this month, and then signed by Boston 3 days later.
Boy, the Sonics dangerously close to really putting this game away here in the third quarter, at least getting a 20-point lead. Now find themselves ahead by 11. These subs for the Celtics are doing a gritty little job of staying close.
You know, Boston only has 7 field goals in this third period. We have but 2:22 remaining. Sonics lead at 80-69. He traveled.
Too anxious to try and get inside the chambers.
That 17-point lead has shrunk to 11.
And this is all Casey Jones wanted.
Seasting, Day, Roberts, Carlisle, and Kite, the reserves on for Boston. Blocked by Chambers. Blocked again. Great effort by X. 2 minutes to play in the period. Here's Williams. No foul is whistled, and Bernie is livid. My goodness. He almost did a cartwheel in front of us, and he gets a technical foul for it. Well, what a turnaround here. And Boston at the other end has scored a field goal. I don't know if they're going to count that goal.
Well, Ronnie Nunn flat missed the call underneath, and he's having to get control back by calling a technical. Kevin Williams was tripped going to the basket. And Bernie jumped about 3 feet. Now, you can't do that. And Ronnie told Bernie, stay on the ground if you're going to argue. Don't jump in the air. But let's watch it right here and see. Here goes Kevin to the basket. There's the foul right there by Seasting, intentional or not. That's a foul. Exactly 3 feet from him. I'm not sure what he was looking at.
Seasting makes the technical foul whistle against Bernie. The field goal that resulted on the play was not allowed, so only the technical foul is scored, and it's a 10-point Boston lead. But they've got the momentum now.
Little play here by the Celtic reserves.
Rebound for McDaniel. He has 6 tonight. And a steal for Boston. 1.5 minutes remains in the third period. Well, these reserves with some fresh legs, and Seasling knocks it down. Sonics want a timeout. They get it. 1:21 to play in the third period, and the Celtics have 42-29 on the boards. Sonics, as I said before, a good rebounding club. They're second in the league in offensive rebounding percentage.
Well, just when I said the Celtics weren't a good pressure team, this little team on the court for them has done a good job, one, of doing that, and two, not allowing the Sonics even to get the ball in, which is pretty tough.
Now Boston inbounding. Day to Kite. Casey Jones still going with those reserves who've done such an excellent job here in the third period against The Sonic starters. Down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. No hoop, and a foul is whistled as they go against the Sonics again. And Clemon Johnson picks up number 3, and Bernie almost got another tee as Ronnie Nunn cautioned him.
Well, I knew the honeymoon wouldn't last very long, and Bernie and the officials have had their words over the last 3 or 4 minutes, but I think some of that has to be some frustration on Bernie's part, and seeing his team lose that little 14, 15-point lead, 1, and 2, they didn't do it in real good fashion. They didn't look real good losing it.
Kite fails both times. He's the only NBA player with 3 years or more experience to be in the NBA Finals every year the last 3 years. A nice career for him so far. In and out of the hands of Johnson. Turnover Sonics. Darren Day puts 2 more up. Now it's 80-74, a 6-point lead, down from 17 against the Boston Reserves.
Well, we'll see how the Sonics react to losing this lead. They haven't reacted as well as I'm certain Bernie would like to have them.
Well, Ellis can't get it down, and we have a loose ball foul whistled by Jack Nees against the Sonics' Tom Chambers. That's 4 fouls to Chambers. Millen has 4, and Lucas has 4.
Bernie would like this quarter just to end, period. Get it over with, let this 26 seconds run out, and start on the 4th quarter. The tide certainly has turned here in, the last 3.5 minutes?
Absolutely. Roberts is at the line for 1 plus the penalty for 2. 26 seconds to play in the quarter. And another point goes up. 5 points for Roberts, all from the foul line, and it's a 5-point Sonics lead. When
things go against you, everything goes against you, including the officiating.
It's a 4-point spread now. 80-76. 20 seconds remain in the 3rd quarter. Travel violation whistle on Danny Young. 16 seconds remain in the period. Rick Carlisle, and a foul against the Sonics. Clemon Johnson. 4 on Clemon Johnson. The basket was not counted. But Carlisle, with 7 seconds in the 3rd period, has an opportunity to draw the Celtics within 2 points. Carlisle, an 87% foul shooter. Makes it look easy. A 2-point game. Dale Ellis. He is fouled. So the Sonics will have an opportunity to score. It's been a long drought. The crowd giving a standing ovation to Jack Dietz for whistling a foul on Boston.
Well, it's not been his doing. It's the other guy that's turned it around.
Foul is to Seasting, his second. Danny Young from 3. No goal. End of the period after 3. Sonics 80, Celtics 78.
Not certain whether the young guy has enough experience to maintain that cool and not go one way or another depending on who's hollered last and who's hollered the loudest.
Sonics have 4 starters and Maurice Lucas on the floor. The Celtics are going with those reserves that scored 17 points in that 3rd quarter. Darren Day is fouling again. The Sonics foul and put Boston on the line.
Well, that's a good, call it like it is. That's a pretty good call.
Oh, no question about it. Sonics did foul.
Darren Day's not the greatest outside shooter.
Matter of fact, he's shooting 39%.
Yeah, you got to pray that he shoots that little 15, 16-footer. 1
shot remaining for Day. He's only shooting 50% from the foul line. There's He's only played 8 games for Boston.
It's important for Seattle to stay ahead of Boston.
1 point lead, 80-79, down from a third quarter 17-point bulge. Got it. Daniel with 18 points now, and the Sonics have a 3-point advantage. 11 and 1/2 minutes to play in the game.
It's been a long time coming, that basket. The Sonics were stuck on 80.
Far too long. Here's the alley-oop. Negated by McDaniel, and out of bounds to the Sonics. Now they need to take advantage of this opportunity. Lucas bangs with Day. Got it! 8 points for Lucas. And it's 84-79, so the Sonics force the turnover and do indeed take advantage and lead it now by 5. And Casey Jones uses his 22nd timeout.
You know, I need to say this because we've been talking about officiating for much of the last 5 or 6 minutes. The last play, Lucas very close to backing in with an offensive foul, those 7 turnovers.
Guess it was just too good to last, huh? 4 turnovers for only 2 points. Larry Bird comes up and tells Bernie to get back behind the line. Here we go. Seasting. 3-second violation, Boston. Larry Bird and Kevin McHale check in for the Celtics. In the third period, the Sonics shot a dismal 33%, Boston 47%. Sonics did out-rebound Boston 11-10. Boston turned it over only 4 times, the Sonics 8 times. 10:48 to play here at the Coliseum in Seattle. We'll hit the road on Thursday and play in Dallas on Friday. That will be seen on the Sonics television network. And Saturday we're in Houston. That too you'll see on the Sonics television network. Well, Alden Lister is fouled, and he'll go to the line. Foul will be against Robert Parrish, just his second of the game, and the first team foul for Boston. Sonics with 1 team foul.
One thing that third quarter did, unfortunately for Seattle, is put several of their players in jeopardy from the standpoint of fouls. Conversely, the Celtics, with only 3 team fouls in the quarter, have nobody really in any foul trouble.
Alden Lister, a 66% foul shooter.
Celtics played a lot of years, 5 years and 5 times a year, plus playoffs against these Celtics, so he's certainly no stranger.
But X keeps it alive. Lister with a chance to redeem himself, does. Alden with 16 points tonight and 12 make that 13 rebounds.
Nice little job by Seattle to apply some full court pressure to quickly get the starters into the rhythm of being tired.
86-79, Sonics on top. Celtics with 7 seconds to shoot it. Johnson finds Bird. There's 3 seconds on the shot clock. 2 seconds to shoot. 1. No. 24-second violation. Take the hoop away. Turnover, Boston.
That's a gutty call by Ronnie Nunn.
Indeed it is. That could have gone either way.
Yep.
Rookie Nate McMillan in his first NBA start, shining tonight. Here's Ellis posted up low. Tapped up and good. Oh, my.
Who got it? Lucas, I think.
I think they're going to give it to Ellis.
No, Lister.
Lister, all right. Alden Lister. He has 18 points.
He's going to come back with his reserves.
Robert Parrish from the baseline. Rebound Lucas with authority. 88-79. Sonics lead it by 9. 9:23 to go. Lucas wide open. And Lister with yet another rebound. 15 rebounds for Lister tonight. Season high 19. He also had a 17-rebound game against the Clippers. A whistle prior to the shot attempt. And it's Lucas drawing the foul. That's 5 against Luke. And Boston wants timeout. They use it. 9-0.
But when Casey Jones came back with his starters, they just went dry. It was the bench that was playing so very well. I wonder how they'll react to that.
9 minutes to play in the game.
Probably pretty good, given their 60% win-loss record over the last 30 years.
10 seconds on the shot clock, and Parrish wheels around Lucas. Luke's got to be careful, playing with 5 fouls. 88-81, Sonics. Next with that jumper over Bird. Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge, Larry Bird, Robert Parrish, and Kevin McHale, all Boston starters on the floor. Sonics with all starters except Williams and Lucas. Wrested away. Williams and Lucas doing the damage. There's next to the baseline. Right across the bracket. Up again, and he's fouled this time. Oh, he is so strong, and he never quits. A foul is charged against Dennis Johnson. His second foul and the second team foul.
I think that's one thing that you must underscore when you talk about X's play, is that with all that ability, watch him, he just has a tremendous amount of tenacity to stay after the ball and stay after. And he has the same sort of tenacity that Chambers has in terms of staying after it.
X fails on the first foul shot. He has one more shot. Chambers has replaced Lucas.
Speaking of the bookend forwards, Chambers, as you mentioned, checks back in.
Daniel now with 19 points tonight. He averages 20.8 at 17th in the league. Sonics the only team in the league with 3 players in the top 20 scorers. Larry Bird. He has 17 points tonight. 89-83 Sonics. Daniel, yes sir, and give Chambers an assist. 21 for X.
Boy, Kevin Williams just popped Robert Parrish pretty good. That's something that I don't think...
McHale is fouled on the rebound. And it's Alton Lister, his third.
And they're talking right in the center of your screen there moments ago. Parrish and Williams. And they're continuing to talk.
That's a second team foul for the Sonics. And Kevin McHale at the foul line at 82%. Kevin appears in the top 5 in 3 statistical categories. Block shots, he's 5th. Scoring is 5th. Field goal percentage is 4th.
I don't think I've told the story in a couple of years, but Kevin McHale was recruited by very few, count them, 2 colleges to play basketball out of Hibbing High School. University of Utah and Minnesota.
Well, they couldn't get to Hibbing with all that snow. How'd you get there?
Yeah, nose for the 6'11 guys that can rebound and run.
10 seconds to shoot it. Down to 7. X, yes sir. McDaniel has taken over offensively. He has 7 points in this period. 93-85. 3-point try. Oh, he's unbelievable. Larry Bird, 20 points in the game. He has 3 3-pointers. Chambers scores it.
Well, right now the Sonics are doing a good job of answering the Celtics, or perhaps it's the other way around.
Bird against McDaniel this time. And Robert Parrish.
Very few offensive rebounds for the Celtics tonight.
Only 5 in the first half, where the Sonics had 10 offensive boards. 6:29 to play. 95-90. Sonics up by 5. Sonics have led since the second quarter. And Alton Lister turns it over. Stolen by Nate McMillan. Good job of ball handling by Nate. To Chambers. Oh, it pops away, but Chambers is fouled and will be at the free throw line. foul is charged to McHale, his second, and the third team foul for Boston.
Take a look at the steal by Nate right there. Taps it to himself, and then he just goes coast to coast. And you know, the Celtics, for all the talk about no bench and perhaps a little bit tired, the Celtics, at least in this period, perhaps it's because of the rest they had in the third quarter, as you see the finish of the play, Celtics looks pretty quick up and down, and they're showing no desire to slow the pace down any.
Chambers at the line with 2 shots. Nate McMillan, we don't know his assist count, but we know he has at least 10. He has 3 steals as well, and 6 points. Chambers would like to have that one back.
Usually very, well, just looking at the stats, 88% from the free throw line.
Another NBA final. Philadelphia beats Denver 111-108. Chambers adds his 18th point. It's 96-90. Seattle, 6:03 remaining.
It's hard to tell if this pressure has made the Celtics slow up in it. It doesn't appear so, but there's still 5 minutes left, 6 minutes left.
Big battle there between Parrish, and he draws the offensive foul. Chambers would not back down, and Parrish draws the offensive foul, his third personal. Fine job by Chambers.
Tom has just been tenacious, first on Bird in the first half, and here on Robert Parrish of late.
5:48 remaining in this game, 96-90. Sonics looking for their first victory over Boston in Seattle in 4 years. Open shot for Chambers. Now, why didn't he shoot that?
Well, he saw a close-in shot. Hard to argue with.
I don't know. 15-foot shot should be good for Chambers. 96-90 with 5:18 to play. The Celtics have 10 seconds to shoot it. We have a foul against Dale Ellis, and that is 3 on Ellis. 3-team foul, Sonics, 3 for the Celtics. McHale.
He never misses that. I guarantee you that.
4-point game, 96-92. Sonics on top. Boy, is Bernie into this game tonight. 8 seconds showing on the shot clock. Bird with some tough defense. Chambers in the paint against McHale. Does not get it. Knocked away from Johnson, and he was fouled. McDaniel checks back in for the Sonics. We have a loose ball foul charge to Danny Ainge, his second, and the 4th team foul now against Celtics. So they will not shoot this. McMillan, Ellis, Chambers, Clement Johnson, and Xavier McDaniel on the floor for the Sonics. Quick pop for Ellis. Nate McMillan, a fine effort to try and save that one. Did everything he could, but couldn't pull it off. 96-92. Oh, my. Thrown at the basket. Literally thrown at the hoop by Dennis Johnson as he was going down, and he's fouled by Clement Johnson. That's 5 fouls on Clem and 4 team fouls on the Sonics.
Well, DJ has always had throughout his career a flair for the dramatics. Right there is Dennis Johnson. Recall the 3-point shot against, I believe it was Milwaukee. I'm going way back to the 1980 playoffs when he hit a 3-point bucket to send it into overtime the game.
Well, Dennis Johnson with 3 points here has brought the Celtics within a point of the Sonics. And Bernie Bickerstaff uses a timeout. We have 4:29 to play. The Sonics 96, the Celtics 95. We're up by 1 point as the quarter started. Boosted it to 9 with 9 minutes to play, and now with 4.5 minutes to go, it's a 1-point spread again. Sonics have possession as we return with 20 seconds on the 24-second clock. McDaniel will inbound.
From a psychological standpoint, boy, it would be tremendous from Seattle's standpoint to stay ahead of Boston.
2 shots at it. It does not go. And now Boston with the opportunity to move ahead. 96-95, Sonics 4:10 to go. Now Jonathan Lister will check back in at the next dead ball for Seattle. And the Celtics lead it. And who else? Larry Bird gives them the advantage. 97-96.
That's a tough shot to put up there that soft.
X against McHale. 18-footer. Not there. And Parrish the rebound.
Parrish beginning to assert himself, and Lister has to get back into the contest.
A lot of room for Ainge. McHale is fouled on the shot attempt by McMillan. So that is 5 on McMillan, and Lister has the opportunity to check in now. Lucas will return. Luke with 5 fouls. That was the 5th team foul as well, I believe, for the Sonics. They haven't put it up on the board yet, but I believe that is 5 team fouls. McHale at the line with 2 shots.
One thing, in looking at the Celtics moving ahead now by 2, and very probably as good as McHale shoots from the free throw line, 3. Boy, they're a tough team to come back against because they can almost get something every time down. Good from Larry Bird.
99-96 Boston. Sonics with McMillan, Lister, Lucas, Ellis, and McDaniel. Ellis? No, and there's a rebound by Ainge. Sonics not getting any offensive boards.
Those aren't bad shots. Although that was the Celtics have really picked up their tempo defensively, and they're not allowing any Sonics to shoot without a couple of guys around them.
5 seconds to shoot it. Nice play on a give and go, but destroyed by the Sonics. Sonics down by 3. 2:50 to play. Open shot for X. Yes, sir. 25 points for McDaniel tonight. A 1-point Celtics lead with 2:40 to go.
Now this crowd should come into play here in the last 2.5.
10 seconds to shoot. Bird short, but a rebound for McHale. Oh, no. Larry Bird with 2 more. 24 points for Bird. 101-98 Celtics, 2:13 remaining. Ellis. It goes. You have to wait to see who they give it to. A foul is whistled against Parrish. Loose ball foul. No basket.
Well, that means at least Sonics are going to be at the free throw line for a couple.
The basket is disallowed, and it'll be Dale Ellis shooting at the line. 2 shots. Ellis is 78% foul shooter.
What's that? Parrish has 4.
Parrish with 4 fouls. That's right.
Lister at the line for Seattle, shooting the 1 o'clock.
Oh, it's Lister.
No, it's Lister. Oh, 66% shooter is Lister. Ellis was standing there.
That's a nice effort. Alton receives a high of relief. A sigh, rather, of relief.
15 points, or excuse me, 15 rebounds and 19 points so far for Alton tonight. That's 20 points for the big guy. 101-100 Boston, and we have reached the 2-minute mark.
Look for Bird.
Into Parrish, and Lucas knocks it away with 8 seconds on the shot clock. So Boston will inbound with 8 seconds to shoot.
X did not allow Bird a chance to get open for the ball. Boy, he and Chambers have done a good job on Bird.
5 seconds. 20-footer. Short. Rebound, Lister. Now the Sonics need a hoop to go back on top and hang on. 1:39 to play. Sonics down by a point. 101-100. The rebound, and he's been very effective on that defensive board. And Boston Boston wants timeout. A minute 15 remaining. The Celtics with a 1-point lead and possession.
Celtics down the barrel of their offensive gun, and it's very hard to imagine them coming up drunk.
111-99. Golden State snapped the 3-game losing streak, defeating Chicago in Chicago 102-99. Detroit over Milwaukee 103-99. San Antonio beat Utah 115-109 to snap a 6-game losing streak, and Philadelphia beat Denver 111-108. Bird, boy, an outstanding defensive effort. And the Sonics come up with the ball.
Wow.
54 seconds to play. What great defense in the clutch. 48 seconds to play.
That's 2 straight times that Seattle has denied the Celtics. Tough to do.
Good defense by Dennis Johnson. 7 seconds to shoot it. Dale Ellis working for the hoop. Comes up short, but a foul is whistled. Ronnie Nunn has the foul on Robert Parrish. His 5th.
Well, Dale took a look at the clock, saw there were 6 seconds at this point, and all he did was find an opening to the basket. Not a pretty shot by any means, but he did a nice job of getting in amongst the trees and causing some contact.
Dale has not scored in this quarter. Now is the time. 2 shots. 16 points in the game for Dale. It's tied at 101.
Well, with the shot clock in play, 35 seconds remaining, whatever happens, the Sonics should, theoretically, get the last shot.
1 to go for Dale.
Unless the Celtics take a quick shot after Dale knocks this down.
And the Sonics lead it. 102-101. 30 seconds remaining. They go to Larry Bird. Surprise. Illegal defense on the Sonics.
It's a tough
And
call.
it was Maurice Lucas, the violator. That is the 2nd, so it's a technical foul against the Sonics. The 5th technical called tonight.
Ooh, that's most probably, and Maurice was creeping down inside there. That was a good call,
Now
but that's tough.
Celtics will get possession here. So the game is tied
Look
at
at the clock.
102. We have 23 seconds to play. Celtics have the ball. The Celtics can run out that time.
And with
The
Larry,
shot clock is off.
with Larry Bird, that's a good guy to run out the clock with and still come up with something good. Overtime, of course, is what you're hoping for. Prime.
And the Celtics call timeout. 13 seconds showing. And it's all theirs. The shot clock is off. All that time. Play. Celtics basketball. No shot clock.
Have the Sonics fouled in the last minute? 2 minutes? Well, they're in the penalty anyway.
10 seconds. 5 and Bird has the basketball. Look out. 2 seconds on the clock. And timeout used by the Sonics. Larry Bird just phenomenal the way that he will contribute in the clutch time after time after time after time.
Well, he does this little back-away shot, perhaps unlike any other in the history of the NBA, and certainly a tremendously unstoppable shot. I mean, this is just phenomenal. X doing all he can. Watch the full 13. Larry inbounds the ball. Now on the left of your screen, watch McDaniel harass Larry as much as he can. And right there, Larry will just back him down, and Mango, that's tough. What can you do, Jimmy?
I don't know.
Zippo.
Break his leg, I suppose. About the only thing he could do. Stop. Ellis on the floor for the Sonics. They'll inbound in front court with 2 seconds to play. Remember now, the clock will start when the ball is touched inbounds and not until. 2-point Celtics lead. Last opportunity for the Sonics. Ellis blocked by Dennis Johnson. Game over. And the Boston Celtics have defeated a very disappointed Sonics club. Final score, Celtics 104, Sonics 102.
Get your Sonics tickets at all ticket the Celtic Coliseum box office.